everyone, welcome back to another Monday makeup lesson. Today I'm going to show you guys how to use this palette. So this palette is by Primark. It's one of their new ones. It is the Nude Addiction. It's only $3.50, so it's super affordable. The shades are gorgeous and I use every single one of them in this video. It's kind of similar to the Hudda Beauty palette, so if you have that one, I guess you could do this too, I think. I hope that you guys enjoy this look. Everybody can give it a go, so let's get started. Oh, before we get into this, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, hit the bell. Okay, now we can get started. So we are going to start off by priming, as always. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. It shears off the primer just ever so slightly. So I'm using the Urban Decay primer. I'm going to take a flat concealer brush. It's the F17 and get it. You need it in your life. And just mix the two of them together. Keep a hold of this brush though, because you're going to be using it for cutting the crease later. And I will show you why it's so great for cutting the crease after I do this. Once you have applied it, take your finger and just tap it out. As always, the brushes that I recommend are these ones. This is by Blank Canvas Cosmetics, and this is the Perfect Eye Set. Check out the description box, I also have a discount code. But if you do enjoy my Monday makeup lessons, this is the set that you need. It has all of them. This is the palette that we're using. Really nice little palette. And I'm not going to use any other palette other than this because I don't like when people jump from one palette to another. It means you guys have to buy different palettes. I just want to show you guys how to use this one. We're going to start off with the matte shade right in the middle. So just for the beginners out there, set your base. If you're not a beginner, you probably don't have to. But seeing as we have a nice color to set with, let's use it. I'm going to take a blending brush. This is the E26 by Blank Canvas Cosmetics. And we're just going to do a wash over the lid. Underneath the brows, I'm going to take the highlighter shade, which is this one right here. It's a beautiful highlighter. Look at that. And I'm going underneath the brows, just starting at that arch and then blending out. And then I'm going to take the matte shade and just tap that over the top. It just takes away too much of that shimmer because I don't like when it's too shiny. You see how this is just a nice balance of shine? Boring bit out of the way, we're now going to move on to the fun bit, which is actually applying some eyeshadow. So we are going to start with two blending brushes. This one is the one that we use for doing the wash, so we're going to keep this as our clean blending brush. And then this one, which is the E41, is what we're going to use to apply. That way you get a nice clean blend. But we're going to start off with the E41. We're going to use it in a slightly different way. I want you guys to hold it in the middle, and I want you to roll it into this shade here, which is like a medium brown shade, and it's quite kind of neutral. And we're going to tap this on this outer corner, just like that, okay? I'm going to just tap that in. So we're dabbing like that, and then we're going to turn it like this. So we're going to get the majority of the product on the lid from this flat part, and then the top part is what we're going to use to blend into the crease. See what I mean? So applying, and then this part is just hitting this crease right here, like that. And once you got the product on there, you can kind of speed up ever so slightly. And we're keeping this quite low down, so don't bring it up too far. Keep it nice and low, keep it in that crease area on that outer corner. And if you're wondering where to kind of stop and start your eyeshadows, what you do is you're going to take your brush and you're going to line it up with the edge of your nose, edge of your eye, and the corner of your brow. And everything should be blended in from this point. Then you can have a soft line around the edges where it's kind of blurred out. But the majority of it needs to be blending in from this point. So I'm going to turn the brush slightly on its side so it's more horizontal. And we're keeping it quite high up in the face. So we were blending down here, now we're quite high up, and we're going to blend over and back. Now we're going to take the clean blending brush and just soften the edges. So see these edges here? We're going to go around them. So we're not going into what we've already applied. We're just going to go around the edge of what we've applied. And I'm holding the brush quite far down in the handle. Remember, the further you hold it down on the handle, the more free movement you're going to have. So it's going to blend it really softly for you. Hold it further down the handle and blend it over and back. And if you have hooded eyes, this is a great way to like hit that hooded area and disguise it. We're going to take this one, which is sort of like a warm, almost like a pale orange. What we're going to do is we're going to go around the edges. So this is like our fade shade. So it's our contour, and this is going to be our fade shade. So this will fade it up for us. And I'm being really careful with how much I'm applying because I don't want to apply too much of this. And we are slowly blending up like this towards our brow arch. But I'm not bringing it all the way in here. I'm keeping it more in the outer corner. How nice is that? See the difference in the blend when you have two eyeshadows? Just that touch of warmth just adds almost like a halo, like a blurry halo around everything. And there's really nothing on this brush. It's just working whatever's there. And you can bring this then a little further into this inner corner because you're not applying anything, you're just blending. We're going to move on to a darker shade, so we're going to use this one down here. But then I'm going to kind of add these in as we go along. But we're going to start off with this one. This time I've applied it just on the tip of the brush. And we're going to start on this outer corner. Going to keep this really low, okay? I want you to mostly focus this on this outer corner. Don't bring it up into the crease or anything like that. Keep it really low on the lid, just on this outer third. And I'm just stamping it on there basically, like really working that on there. If you ever struggle getting your blacks or your dark shadows to show up, spritz your brush with just a little bit of like spraying water, and this will just give it that little bit more texture, and you can then build on top of it. Sometimes that's what I do when I can't get my blacks to be, oh, this brush is now wet, so it's probably going to show up more. But if I can't get my black or my brown or any dark eyeshadows to show up, that's what I typically do. Gonna take our clean blending brush and just soften the edges ever so slightly. Then what I want you guys to do is take the brush, okay, and there should just be a little bit of residue on there. I want you to take it on this outer corner, and then I want you to push it into that crease. Or if you don't have a crease, kind of create a crease with it. We're not applying it on this inner lid. We're going up above it into the crease, but we're also not bringing it up too far either, because there's nothing worse than bringing it up too far. So just like dig it right in there with whatever's left over on the brush. Don't pick up anything. You don't need anything. We're gonna move on now, and we're gonna cut the crease. Take a little bit of concealer. This time you don't need any more of that primer because it'll be too dry. And for my older ladies and gents out there who are applying this and they're worried about creasing on their eyelids, go ahead, you guys, and just use a damp brush instead and apply what we're gonna apply with a damp brush. Kind of similar effect, but for everybody else, cut crease. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that concealer on our brush. What I'm gonna do with this brush is I am gonna take it and I'm gonna squash it like this. So like literally squeezing it out. Don't pull on the bristles, you're literally gliding over the top of it. And then I want you to take whatever's left over in your fingertips just on the tip of the brush. And then I'm gonna take my mirror. And I always like to start off a little lower because then I can like build up the cut crease. If you've never tried cutting the crease before, give it a go. Honestly, it is not a massive deal. I used to be like so scared of doing it. Sorry, I'm not saying anything, I'm just concentrating. And then what I do is I take my finger and I just tap right where it is in the middle here, and that will blur out those edges. And I also do like the top part as well because I like to be kind of blurry. Alright, so this is the look that you are going to have. I'm just going to clean my fingers. That wasn't too difficult, was it? Have you tried it? Leave a comment if you tried cutting a crease and let me know how you get on, especially if it's the first time that you've done it. Okay, we're going to set this in place now so that it doesn't crease, and I'm going to keep my eyes like this because I need to look for my brush. I'm going to take a flat brush this time, and this is a nice kind of... How am I going to keep my eye open? So I'm going to take a flat brush, and this is a nice kind of rounded top flat brush, so it's going to fit really nicely into this area. And we're going to start off with that matte shade because I want to set this. So I'm just going to tap that over the top, and I'm only going to barely set it. So now we need to fade the two of them together. So what are we going to do for fading? We're going to take our fade shade. So this is our fade shade right here on the edge. I'm going to use that same brush, and we are going to fade the lighter shade in with this outer corner darker shade, tapping over the top. I love it. I love it already. It's actually quite a matte look to begin with, and now we're going to start adding in some shimmer. I'm going to take this shade right here that we're using on the brows with that same lip brush, and I'm actually going to start by just applying this on this inner corner. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this shade up here, which is like a rose goldy shade, and we're going to tap that in the middle. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the gold in the middle and just apply that over the top of our fade shade that we were applying earlier, just a little bit of it. I'm going to switch to a pencil brush, and I'm going to take this shade and this shade mixed together, and I'm going to tap this over the top of the black. On the waterline, instead of using a black, I'm actually going to be using this sort of aubergine. And then what I'm going to do is just finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back to show you guys how to do this bit. So just a quick change, and we are back to the eyes. All I've done so far is just applied some lashes at the top and extra mascara. Now I'm going to take a flat brush. I'm going to take a little bit of a spray, dampen it for us, and I'm going to take the kind of darkest kind of brown shade. I'm just going to work this underneath. I've already done a little bit because I forgot that I had to show you it. Just look up, and this will just make sure you really get under there. And the fact that the brush is just a little damp will just make sure we don't get fallout over the rest of our makeup. And then I'm going to take the slightly warmer shade, our little fade shade, and go around the edges with this. I can't see what I'm doing, but it should be softening out that darker color. Gonna take a little bit of that highlighter and just tap it on that inner corner. And then for the rest of the makeup, I went for like kind of a 90s sort of style makeup. I did apply quite a lot of highlighter though, so that's not very 90s. But it's this one, which is called Brunch Club, and it is the highlighter from Brunch Club. On my lips then, because you guys are always getting at me for using the same lip color all the time, so this is Let's Cuddle, but I mixed it with this one, which is called Stonework by Sleep. So I apply that first and apply a little bit in the center and just tapped that out, and they pretty much match what we have on the eyes. And then for contouring and highlighting and blush and all that kind of stuff, I use these 3 shades. I really like this palette. Do you guys want me to try out some more palettes by them? Is there any other palette that you'd like to try? Oh, actually this one, hold on. I also got the new Urban Decay palette and I can't wait to use it. So definitely let me know what you'd like to see from this palette. If there's any other palettes you'd like to see, I'm always here to help. So definitely leave a comment to let me know how you're getting on with your makeup looks, and I'll see you guys in the next. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Bye. I don't know why I'm doing this. Bye.